You go to a festival thinking you're going to spend like $100, and somehow that turns into $400?
$8 bottle of soda, $30 chicken sandwich, $10 fries, $45 t-shirt.
Tap, tap, tap.
If your bank account has ever been personally attacked by a festival, this episode is for you. And for me. Festival season is fun, but it's also one of the easiest ways to overspend without realizing it. I'm Reagan.
And I'm Megan. And we want you leaving with memories, not money stress the week after.
Because somehow it goes from, I'm just buying a ticket,
to wait, everyone's doing VIP. Should we?
Exactly. And right there, that's where the overspending starts.
So Reagan, I don't know about you, but I have to stay off social media because I get some serious FOMO.
Girl, me too.
You see people posting their outfits, which are so cute, and they're posting the artists that you really want to see, and it's so hard.
They're living the dream. But the other thing is, along with the FOMO, once you do have the tickets, like there's so many add-ons that you can also fall into the trap of just spending more and more money. So I'm buying the tickets for this festival, and it's asking me, oh, do you want to get into this after party? Or there's this little hangout area you can go to. You can get the extra close parking, all these different add-ons where I'm like, all right, I need to slow down for a minute because I want to do all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And think about—
But not your budget. Your budget doesn't want to do all of it.
Yeah, but my budget says, you already know when you get there, you're going to want to go to the merch tent and get some stuff. You're probably going to want to get a drink or a water or, whatever else. You gotta sit and think about that first and not let the FOMO take over.
Yeah. Are you guys traveling out of town for this festival?
No, fortunately, it's right in town. So we don't have to worry about that part, but it's still just, there's so many temptations,
I know. It's really hard to, like you're saying, when one person wants to go have that VIP experience or the other person is like, I want to go to the after party. And you want to do all of it too, because you want to have those pictures. You want to tell everybody, oh, look where I went. Yep. But at the end of the day, if you didn't plan for these things, you shouldn't be doing them. Yeah. You have to set your budget before the festival starts, because these things, they tell you the dates and the artists sometimes a year in advance, so you know what to expect. So your budget really actually needs to reflect your plans.
Yes, that's very true. You want to make sure that you have the best time, get the best bang for your buck.
Exactly. One of the things that my friends and I like to do is if we're going to a festival out of town, we like to split a hotel. Yeah. There have been many nights where we've all been okay sleeping on a floor, which is not the most ideal, but guess what? It fits in the budget. It saves money, because then we got to have that experience. The money went a little bit further. We could buy that lemonade and all those treats.
Lemonade at a festival? Come on.
Especially when it's so hot.
It just hits better. It just hits different. I think you have to decide where you want to spend more and where you don't, as long as you're aware of what you're spending and what is coming out of your wallet. Yeah. Because you don't want to come back a week later and you see all those bills coming through and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do here?
And speaking of coming out of your wallet, one of the things I love to do is take out cash. So that way I'm staying within my budget. I take out the cash that I've reserved in my budget for going to the festival. Yeah. And once that cash is gone, that's it. Yeah. So you're like, what am I going to prioritize? Am I really going to go get that hoodie? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's 100 degrees out. You really don't need a hoodie, but maybe it's super cute. Maybe it's a limited edition merchandise drop. Maybe it says the city you're at and you're like, I need that.
Yeah, it's still that FOMO. And I think the other smart thing about taking out cash is it feels different handing someone money than it does just tapping a bill or tapping a card.
Yeah, exactly. And do you have any tips or tricks when you've gone to a vendor at a festival and it's cashless?
Yeah, so something that I do is just to stay on track of my money in general is I have real-time alerts set up for any transaction that I have. Maybe I don't have cash or I can't use cash and see that money literally coming out of my hands, but when I use my card, I see the transaction pop up on my phone. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel great to hand cash out, but it also doesn't feel great when you look at your phone and you see all these little transactions coming up and you're like, oh my God.
Or you hear ding, ding.
I don't even want to do the math right now of how much this is actually adding up to. And it's a good way to be accountable and be aware of what you're spending.
Another important thing that you can really do is making sure that you build emergencies and those last minute add-ons into that budget. Because when you're going to a festival outside, it's inevitable. You're either going to have a really hot day or it's going to rain.
Yeah,
So,
it's one or the other. There's no in between.
And I've experienced both.
Yeah.
I've been soaking wet and I was like, man, I really wish I had a poncho. And I didn't want to spend $20 on a poncho.
Yeah, it's so expensive when you buy it at the venue.
Yeah,
That's
so
how they get you.
every year now, every time I go back, I bring a poncho with me.
Yep, now you're always prepared. It only takes one time.
It takes one time.
It can be easy when you're going to a festival. It's a social outing. You're just like ready to have a good time. And you're not thinking about the unexpected of things that can just pop up. You know, just because it's going to be a fun event doesn't mean that there can't still be accidents or things happening. The amount of times that I have been to a festival or heard about people getting super dehydrated and literally passing out, having to take an ambulance because they didn't prepare ahead of time. You know, check your venue if you're allowed to bring drinks in. Are you allowed to bring your own waters? Are you allowed to bring your own snacks? Make sure that you can take care of what you can beforehand. And that also helps you save money again, because you buy a water bottle at the venue. Girl, I don't even want to know how much that costs for one water bottle.
Yeah, and it definitely helps you to stay on budget if you're able to bring those things in.
It can add up so quickly, even when you try to plan ahead of time for your spending. So I think one of the biggest tips that we could also offer for this is
a daily spending limit. That is a fantastic tip. That way it's built into your budget. You know what your limits are. You've got your emergencies, your travel, you got all the things that are exciting for this experience. Keep your daily spending limit. Do not go over it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is you know that there's going to be some unexpected expenses when you get there. So when you set that limit, make sure you give yourself a little bit of buffer room for that.
What's one thing that gets forgotten when it comes to budgeting for a festival?
Oh, let me tell you about it. Them outfits. The festival outfits. I love a good festival outfit. And, you know, you get all the different colors. Maybe you get a little sparkles, do your hair nice. You might match your outfit to the artist.
Yes.
You know, they have different albums, different eras that they go through. Yes. And then you match and it's just like a whole vibe. You have your friends, so you're like trying to coordinate your outfits. But that can add up if you're trying to shop for whole new outfits every time, because that's the trap that's easy to fall into, is like, oh, this is a fun one day thing.
You want to look trendy.
Yeah. I'm going to get something new. I'm going to feel fresh. But the thing is, you don't have to get something new to still feel new and to feel good about what you're wearing.
I love that, Reagan.
Yeah. And so the biggest thing that I do is I share clothes with my friends. You know, I'm like, okay, let me think about what I want to wear. I have this skirt. I go to my friend, hey, what tops do you have that would match this? And like, she needs some shorts or she needs like these certain shoes. Here's a bandana. And we share everything. And so it feels like a brand new outfit, but it's not. We didn't have to spend any money, you know.
I love that. I think that I might have to go shopping in her closet as well for next time.
Yeah, right? Like my friend's closet, my favorite store. And at the end of the day, concerts and festivals are supposed to be fun, not something you're stressing about after.
And the good news is you don't have to miss out to stay on track. It's really just about making simple choices before you even get there.
So if you're heading to a festival soon, think about what actually matters most to you and build your budget around that.
And if you found this helpful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And go have fun at that festival.
Yeah. Bye.